Welcome into Pregame Central, presented by USVI, and there's the big guy, Quinnen Williams, getting ready for today's matchup as the Jets are hosting the Carolina Panthers, 3-3 as they come into MetLife today. Caroline Hendershot here alongside Eric Allen, Quincy Anunwa, and our good friend Marty Lyons. Marty, your jacket, absolutely stunning. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, thank you, Caroline. In 1984, I was the NFL Man of the Year. This past Super Bowl, Anquan Bolden recognized 5 of the past winners. I was very fortunate to be one of them. Michael Strahan was kind enough to make jackets for every one of us. I thought today was the appropriate time to break it out.
Love it. Okay, EA and Quincy, I want to know from a 30,000-foot view, before we really dive into the details of today, how are we feeling about today's matchup?
I feel that the Jets took a big step in London last week. They bonded. You saw them come out and play really at an elite level on special teams and on defense. Jermaine Johnson's insertion into the lineup was critical. Yeah, Jarvis Brownlee forced the first turnover of the season for the Jets defensively. Now you just got to get the offense going. We just saw Justin Fields before. Fields said this week that, hey, maybe I've been a little bit too protective. Maybe I should be more aggressive, not reckless. Right. So this is a big game for Justin Fields.
Yes, 100%. I think he took ownership of that cue. How are you feeling about today's matchup?
Yeah, EA said a lot of great things. I think the biggest thing for me is to watch what the defense does now that the Panthers have a two-headed monster out there, right? They're not only having Rico Dowdle, but they'll also have Hubbard back, right? So those are two great backs that can do some good things. I'm interested to see if they can keep up that same mentality. AG spoke a little bit during the week about how he wants to improve every week. This is a great opportunity for them to do that against this Panthers rush. Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about this Panthers rushing offense with Rico Dowdle, because 389 rush yards he's had in weeks 5 and 6. That's the most by a player in their first 2 starts with the team since 1980. Why would you say he is so effective when he's on the field, EA?
Man, well, last week I think he had revenge on his mind because he used to play with the Dallas Cowboys, but he's had more than 200 yards from scrimmage in each of the past 2 games. But Quincy, when I look at this ball game, it's very interesting because not only do you have Dowdle, but Chuba Hubbard is back in the lineup as well, and he's the guy atop the depth chart. So how are they going to incorporate both of these backs? Do you ride the hot hand, or do you go back to the guy who earned the spot?
That's a great question, right? I think it's going to be an interesting thing for them. I mean, they have a wealth of riches, right? It's something that every team wants. It's a great opportunity for them to see what they have at back, because somebody is going to come out on top. With Hubbard, though, right, that's the guy that's going to be very hungry. Dowdle's been making a lot of great plays the last couple of weeks while he's been out, and you got to understand this is a competitive league, not only outside of the building but also inside the building. Guys want to be the best. They want to be the top. So he's going to go out there and show that he deserves to get that number 1 spot.
So what's the key to slowing down this rush tandem?
I would say the bottom line is the Jets just do exactly what you did last week against the Denver Broncos. You had J.K. Dobbins coming in that game on a tear, and the Broncos are in top 5 rushing offense in the National Football League, and the Jets totally neutralized them. Jermaine's incorporation was huge because he was setting that edge, and you finally saw that defensive line together for the first time since week 1.
Yeah, absolutely. The defensive line, the linebackers as well. Everybody was playing with a team effort. I think that obviously that meeting did a good job, but then guys were just playing with great eyes, right? Staying in their lanes, and that's important for the defensive side, right? I've only played kickoff, which is kind of a defensive side, but the biggest thing that they always teach is to stay in your rush lanes, right? Because once somebody gets out, it's a perfect opportunity for something to pop.
I will also say shout out to the linebackers. I thought Jamie Sherwood had his best game of the season. And how about rookie Kiko Mayanoa? He was all over the place.
He's really coming into his own. And you know, for a rookie adjusting to NFL speed, I feel like he's been faster than some of the rookies that I've seen, especially on the defensive side of the ball, in the linebacker position, because that's always a tough one. I think he's been coming along very well. Okay, what about Bryce Young, though? Because he's been having quite a rhythm as of late. So what have you seen from him, especially in the second half of games? What have you seen, Quincy?
Yeah, so he's really come on fire. I think one thing you got to understand is that he's got McMillan back there. That's a guy that's a great receiver. He can make a lot of catches, has a really wide reach, wide span, right? So that makes it so much easier for a guy like Bryce Young, who's smaller. He could just throw it anywhere, and this guy's going to go get it for him, right? Then, obviously, when you incorporate that run game in there, that Enrico Dowdle's also a guy that can catch the ball out the backfield, right? He had a touchdown against the Cowboys coming out the backfield on a great play call. So there's a lot of different things this offense can do that they're going to have to watch for with the Cowboys.
Yeah, when you're talking about Young, I mean, everything the Carolina Panthers do is predicated on that run game. They do a lot of play-action passing. And Q mentioned Ted McMillan, the impressive rookie out of Arizona. I'm wondering if this is one of those games where Sauce Gardner, you have him travel with McMillan.
Okay, so what do you think about Sauce traveling with McMillan? Would you prefer that? Do you think it's necessary, Q?
I think it is. I think at this point now, this is Sauce's job, right, to take away the number one receiver. Last week he did a great job against Cortland Sutton. He had one catch for 14 yards. Other than that, they really shut him down. And so this is a great opportunity for him to continue to show why he wants to be the number one receiver. Well, I got a couple stats in here I just want to pull out real quick for Sauce Gardner. I'll talk about it a little bit later. But the biggest thing right here is that he has the most tight window throws. He forces the most tight window throws in the NFL, right? So this is a guy that, although some guys are making great plays, like the George Pickens touchdown with the Cowboys, he's always right there, right? So it's really tough. The quarterback has to put that ball in the perfect spot in order for him to get a completion on Sauce.
And let's stay right here with Sauce. Cortland Sutton is a very impressive receiver in his own right.
Oh, yeah.
He had one reception last week, and that's because number one was blanketing him.
Exactly.
And not for nothing, but Ted McMillan leads the Panthers with 27 receptions, 380 receiving yards, and no other rookie, only Emeka Egbuka, has more receiving yards than Ted McMillan right now. So he really is, for the Panthers, that one guy in the receiver room that you need to shut down and isolate, in my opinion.
Yes.
Well, so what else about this Panthers defense, though? Like, how should the Jets be attacking this Panthers defense? Because we know they like to run the ball. They have Breece Hall back there, but what should we expect this offense to look like today?
Yeah, so I think one thing with Breece is that last week it was really tough. He couldn't get going. This was probably his worst game in terms of getting tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Prior to that, he usually is able to get something going before that. So I think the Jets are just going to have to make sure that they're staying on their blocks. Last week there was a lot of MAs, right? Guys were missing their blocks. Guys didn't understand the schemes as well, right? Offensively, it just was not the best showing for a team that's actually one of the top rush teams in the NFL.
I think the game just got away from the Jets offensively last week. You know, we know about the sack total. Justin Fields had 9 completions. He was sacked 9 times. Nothing was really working, and they were not able to get into a rhythm. I think they didn't have a first down until really late in that second quarter. When you look at this Panthers defense, what they do well is they stop the run, and on the interior, they got Derek Brown. They have 2, I would say, elite players, blue chippers. You got Brown on the inside and then J.C. Horn, the cornerback. The interesting thing about Horn here today, as we all know, Garrett Wilson, doubtful for the Jets. So what does that look like for the Jets on the outside?
Right, exactly. And that's where the big question lies. Because if they're really powerful in the run game and they can stop the run game, the Panthers defense that is, then obviously you would assume that the Jets are going to go to their receivers. But if Garrett Wilson does not take the field today, who are you looking to have step up on the Jets offense, both of you?
Honestly, for me, I would have to say it's just got to be Breece Hall. Honestly, I think he has to be one of the main guys to step up today. Obviously, last week, I'm saying obviously so many times. Excuse me, guys. That's not on purpose, right? But I think the biggest thing for them is to make sure that Breece Hall gets the ball. He has to get going, right? I think last week they tried a little bit to get him going. There's a lot of run, pass. But I think there's so many other ways that we can do Breece Hall, right? You can give him a screen pass, right? This is one thing that I feel like I would love for them to try to continue to put into the offense are the screens, right? You can do a lot of the misdirection with the motions, but then add in a screen in there, get him going, get him the ball in space. It allows him to really get some yards.
Yeah, and as we watch Breece Hall right now, I want to say last week was a blip on the radar. That's what you would hope for the Jets offensively. Again, the Broncos came into that game the previous week. They had sacked Jalen Hurts 6 times. That's the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. They were held to 17 points. For the Jets, it just hurt because you were not able to get in position to give Nick Folk an opportunity. But when we look at Breece Hall, I thought he really earned his yards on the ground last week. He made some magical gains out of nothing. Yeah. And what you want to also see is that if indeed Garrett Wilson's out of the lineup, can he get Brees incorporated into the pass game and Isaiah Davis as well? Because that's a youngster who's got really good hands.
Yeah, and I think seeing a little bit more of Isaiah Davis is something I'd like to see, because we have seen Brees, of course, but maybe just throwing him in a way that isn't as expected, I think could maybe do well for the Jets themselves. Now, I know a lot of people were a little critical of last week's game because it was maybe so defense-oriented, and it wasn't as offense-heavy. And I know offense is what everybody is looking for. So what do you want to see just in general for the way the Jets move the ball on offense today?
Yeah, so me personally, I want to see Justin Fields do a good job with his feet, right? Not only in running the ball, right, giving him more manufactured opportunities, but also with just knowing where he's going to throw the ball. I think sometimes, and he may have spoke about it a little bit as well, is that his feet were not matching up with where he wanted to go. So you would see him already in a shotgun taking more steps, and then he would miss the throw because he's late, right? So it always starts from the ground up. They tell you that with quarterbacks, it starts from the ground up. If he can get that going, then these throws can be more on timing, and then you can just see a more productive offense.
Man, you hit the nail on the head. You sound like a former quarterback. That's what Champ Pennington always used to say, that, hey, quarterback is about how you play your lower half. And as far as your progressions are concerned, your feet are going to tell you where to go. And you have to be set there. And then, hey, listen, I know people have made a lot as far as the way he plays the game, maybe in the pocket and things like that. We know his skill set is different. I will say that he dealt with a contusion that he sustained against the Miami Dolphins on his leg, so maybe that impaired his ability to run the football. I would anticipate the Jets have more design runs, more RPOs for Fields today, and also they're going to take a shot. I just have a feeling early in this game, as people get inside the stadium, on that first drive, I would not be surprised at all. You see him throwing a long ball to 82, Arian Smith.
That'd be nice.
Okay, I like that. EA's calling it early. Okay, what about, real quick, I know you just touched on Arian Smith. What about Josh Reynolds? Because he seemed to connect with Fields a lot last week with the Broncos.
Yeah, so I really liked what I saw from Josh Reynolds. Obviously, it was only about 2 or 3 opportunities, but he made the most of them. I think that was one of those things where the last couple weeks, I think he's been in the pass game just a little bit. He's a guy that knows how to find the zones. He's going to make that catch for you. Just keep feeding all these guys on the roster, right? Because Garrett Wilson may or may not be playing today, but these other guys need the reps if you want to have a long season.
I totally agree. I like what I saw out of Reynolds. I know he made only 3 catches for the 25 yards, but the thing is, he's a big-bodied receiver, and we saw some finish from him. He's a hard guy to bring down. Now, he's not the burner anymore at 30 years old, but he is an intermediate guy who's savvy, and I think Fields can trust him if he does not have the ability to throw to Garrett Wilson today.
You know what always cracks me up is when we talk about football players, and 30 is old in football, in football years, but don't worry, all the 30-year-olds watching, you are not old. Okay, Jets fans, clear the runway. The New York Jets are ready for takeoff against the Cleveland Browns. Be here at MetLife Stadium on Sunday, November 9th at 1 p.m. to experience the action and energy of Jets game day. Don't miss out. Lock in your seats at nyjets.com/tickets. All right, gentlemen, we are going to play a little bit of our game again. We played this last time we were on Pregame Central at home with some fat heads of some players. So I'm going to pull out a fat head, and you guys are going to tell me what you expect from them in today's game. So if you give me a moment here, EA, you're starting with Jermaine Johnson.
I'm expecting nasty. I'm expecting toughness. I'm expecting a guy who's going to set the edge and then get after Bryce Young. Bryce Young is not the biggest guy, but this guy is going to be coming hunting for Bryce Young. And also, the Jets' run defense awfully improved last week against the Broncos. They got to stop the run today, and this dude is going to make sure things go back inside for Quinnen Williams, Harrison Phillips, and the Jets linebacker pair of Jamie Sherwood and Kiko Manoa.
You can feel the difference when this guy is on the field. All right. Okay, Quincy, I'm giving you yours. What kind of game is Sauce Gardner going to have?
I think we're going to see a follow-up week of Sauce Island, right? He needs his own name. We can't give it Sauce Island. We already had Revis Island. He has to come up with his own thing. But for now, it's definitely going to be a lot of sauce on the field. This guy's going to shut down McMillan. He had a great week last week, and it continues to do that. He shows up on the film. One thing that you really realize when you're watching the All-22, I know a lot of people like to watch it. They don't always know what they're watching. But with DB, you really know what you're watching. When a guy's shutting some stuff down, this guy's continuing to do that. And today he's going to find his way to make sure that he neutralizes McMillan.
Another guy you can always actually feel his presence on the field because the offense has to know where he is at all times. All right, EA, going to the offensive side of the ball.
Okay.
What kind of game is Justin Fields going to have?
I think we're going to see the Justin Fields that we saw against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think we're going to see a guy who gets it going on the ground, who's going to be a threat with Breece Hall in the backfield with those RPOs. I think we're going to see the Jets use him more on the moves with the boots. And then also, I think you're going to see him just have better feet in the pocket and be more aggressive. Listen, he has not turned the ball over this year, no interceptions, but sometimes you got to fit the ball in the tight window. He knows that. I think he's coming out with purpose today.
There you go.
Okay, I like to hear it. All right, Quincy, what kind of game is Breece Hall going to have?
Yeah, so today I want to hear a lot of Breece to the stadium, right? Because this is a guy that's going to show up big. Last week I said that the yards before contact were minus 14. Prior to that, he was around 74. He was at least top 5, top 10 in the NFL, right? He gets past the line of scrimmage, and the O-line does a great job of moving the guys back, right? Taking guys off the point of attack. That's their biggest job. Those guys are going to show up today. They know they didn't do their job as well as they wanted to last week, so they're going to help this guy have a big day.
Will he get his touchdown today?
Oh. He's got to have it today. Got to have it today.
Okay, I like to hear that. All right, well, I didn't remind everyone at the top of the show, but we still have the Hellman's Mayonnaise Field Goal Challenge, where we have one lucky fan kicking for a 30-yard field goal. Can they make it? We don't know. We're going to toss it out to Rob Monty and see if they can. Rob, take it away.
Thanks, Caroline. It's a beautiful day out here. We have a ton of people that have been trying out this field goal, but only one. Ashley Gervaisi is going to get a chance to get this 20-yard field goal for a chance to get inside MetLife Stadium on December 28th against the Patriots for $100,000 in Hellman's kickoff. Ashley, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go.
Where are you from, Ashley?
Oceanside, Long Island.
Oceanside, Long Island. What brought you to the Jets tailgate zone in this Jets game today?
My parents are season ticket holders for over 30 years. I'm a new season ticket holder this season, and today we have a fundraiser for esophageal cancer. So we got a bunch of people here tailgating, ready for the game and ready to go.
Awesome. Wow, that's an awesome story. Well, listen, you're going to have a chance right now in front of all these people here live on this Pregame Central to win $100,000. That will go a long way for that charity. You ready, Ashley?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, here we go, Caroline. Ashley's going to kick it for the Hellman's kickoff. Yes! Over the net! Yes!
She's done that before. She's definitely done that before.
Yes. Whoa, so we got December 28th. You'll be inside MetLife Stadium for the Hellman's kickoff. Caroline, that was awesome. Back to you.
Oh my God. Ashley is my new favorite Jets fan. That was incredible. She's an athlete. She is an athlete. That was it was right through the middle of the uprights. Oh my God. It had plenty of air.
It was an impressive ball strike. Yeah. It's going right a little bit, but then it just
kept right in the middle of those uprights. Oh wow. That was amazing. Wow. We were jazzed. Okay. So we have one made field goal so far this season. So that's exciting. Hopefully we see a couple more before the end of the year so that they can duke it out for the chance to win $100,000 at the Okay. Gentlemen, would you like your buffalo chicken dip?
That's a weekly
courtesy of Hellman's. I don't think anyone really realizes that every week we're having Hellman's buffalo chicken dip on set. These guys are actually truly fully enjoying it every single time. Delicious?
Yeah.
Little mid-morning snack. Never too early for buffalo chicken dip.
No. Good protein, too.
MetLife, it's all about tailgating. So, hey, disappearing buffalo chicken dip should be out in the parking lot right now. Got
100%.
Got some good spice on Sunday morning.
Okay, there you go. And you all watching at home have the disappearing buffalo chicken dip sauce. recipe on your screen right now so you can go make it in time for 1 p.m. kickoff. Never too late, so run to the store if you're missing some of those ingredients. But everyone, thanks so much. Are you the ultimate Jets fan? That is the real question for all of you watching at home, because the New York Jets are celebrating the most passionate and committed fans of the game with the annual Fan Hall of Fame presented by Ticketmaster. Submit your nomination at nyjets.com/Fan Hall of Fame. Terms apply. Alrighty, gentlemen, we're going to close out the show the way that we always love to. It's time for both of you guys to make your case. So, which one of you lucky gentlemen will get to go first? I don't know. I'm going to go with Quincy.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, Quincy, make your case for me today.
So my make your case for today is Jets D-line versus Panthers D-line in sacks, right? I think the Jets are going to do a great job of getting to the quarterback, really finding a way back there. I heard somebody ask a question about tackling a smaller quarterback, right? I don't care what size the quarterback is. They're going to go back there. They're going to feast today. They had a great job last week. This week they really want to try to get to the quarterback. Jermaine Johnson wants to finish those couple misses that he had.
Carolina enters this game with just 5 sacks on the year. How about mine, Carolina?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't even know. You throw it up there, and I got you guys. Where are we going with my make your case?
Why don't we put that up there? There we go.
Oh, there you go. Panthers sacks. Oh. Listen, so Panthers so far this year, rush defense solid. They're not getting to the quarterback. They had 5 sacks, so everything was made about the Jets and their protection and Justin Fields taking time to throw the football. I don't think we're going to see that out here today. This is an opportunity for the Jets to really settle in. You played a Denver pass rush that leads the National Football League in sacks. Now you're playing against a team in Carolina who is last in the NFL in sacks. So you go from one end of the spectrum to the other.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think we have hammered it home enough of just how impressive that Broncos defense really is. So I do agree with you, EA. I think it's going to be a very different ball game today. All right, what about the tomorrow's headlines of tomorrow's paper? What will it read? Quincy, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, so mine is stop the pounding, right? So if you know anything about the Carolina Panthers, keep pounding is their motto, right? So we got to find a way not only to stop the pounding in multiple different ways for the Jets, but the biggest one is the run game, right? They're going to go pound the rock. The biggest thing for these guys out there is to make sure they're slowing down Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard.
Okay, yeah.
Cat trap. Jets neutralize Panthers rush attack. That's what's going to happen. Carolina, we talked about it throughout the show. They've been really good rushing the football the last couple of weeks. Well, the Jets' rush defense was extremely solid against the Broncos. I anticipate that continuing here today. And then you're going to force Bryce Young to throw the football. This Carolina offense is not predicated on going back and throwing 30 times.
Okay, well, you guys said it first. If you see that on tomorrow's paper, know that they came up with it first. All right, gentlemen, should we have some final thoughts before we close out the end of this show? What do you guys want to see in terms of complementary football from all 3 phases of the Jets? Because I know the Jets defense and the Jets special teams were really on it last week, but all 3 of them working together, what do you guys want to see? Q, you take the floor.
All right, cool. So special teams, the biggest thing for me that I want to see is another great week, right? The last time that these guys lost a game, they gave up 167 punt return yards. Let's go out there, find a way to make those big plays for this team.
Yeah, the Jets got to jump out here early today and play complementary football. You're right. You're heading in the right direction with these 2 phases, with defense and offense. Defense and special teams, Offensively, Justin Fields just got to play free. Just got to go out there, have fun, play within himself, but also trust it. Trust it. And sometimes, listen, if you take a shot, that is going to pay off down the line. And I think that we're going to see him going back to his dual threat ways.
Right, and it's not about being reckless by any means, but it's more so about taking advantage of those opportunities that you're presented with. Okay, one quick one for you both before we get to inactives. I want to know, who do you guys think is going to score the first touchdown for the Jets today? It's a true.
I'm taking Justin Fields.
Ooh.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Is he running it in?
Yes.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if Fields has 2 rushing touchdowns today. That's right, fantasy owners. That's what I said, and I'm sticking to it. We can talk about Jets overtime. We'll lead with that.
I want to do Will McDonald on a scoop and score.
Oh,
that's what I want.
Okay,
That's what I want.
Quincy, I
Yeah.
like that. Throwing a little defense at us. I know, EA, you wanted to say something quickly about Nick Mangold before we got to inactives today.
Yeah, before we get to inactives, Nick Mangold earlier this week, Jets legend, posted on social media that he is in need of a kidney. And he's looking for somebody who has type O blood. Nick is part of the fabric of this organization. Not only was he a guy who was excellent on the field, 7 Pro Bowls over the course of 11 seasons, dependable, consistent, and elite, but he also happens to be a great man who has a beautiful wife, Jennifer, and 4 children. He's had chronic kidney problems since 2006. He knew this day was going to come, and unfortunately this day has come when he's 41 years old. We are thinking of Nick because all of us here at the Jets organization think of him as part of the family. He planted his flag here once he was drafted in 2006. He lives down the street. He's part of our content, and he is always at Jets events. And listen, he's been going through it of late. And it's awfully tough to think of a friend that way. But you have an opportunity to help. And if you can, and if you're willing to donate your kidney and you have type O blood, please click on that QR code.
Yeah, we're really thinking of Nick Mangold and his entire family. But if you can help, definitely go to nyjets.com. There's more information there of how you can help, what website to go to. So all that information is on the Jets website. All right, let's get it inactives today. The guys that won't be on the field today include Garrett Wilson, Michael Carter II, Quantez Stiggers, Cam Jones, Issa Pohl, Jelani Woods, and Tyler Barron. I know that was a big one. Garrett Wilson, we did not know whether he was. It was doubtful. Officially official. He will not be on the field today. All right, as we close out Pregame Central, we got to take one more look at this kick from Ashley because, oh my God, this was a thing of beauty. Look at that. Oh, and look at us watching. Oh, that's a great reaction. Oh, that's fantastic. Awesome. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for sticking with us on Pregame Central presented by USVI. We will see you on Jets Overtime after today's matchup. We'll see you then.